There's something out there if you really are torn between the two.
Zara, like if you obviously want to delve into midwifery, you know, it's open.
It's there. We'll think about it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Zara and I'm a registered nurse working in the UK, and we are joined by a very fabulous guest, Sundas. Welcome to the channel. Me and Sundas have combined forces to bring you this video on nursing versus midwifery, which career path is best for me. So we're going to go through a whole bunch of categories, a whole bunch of different topics, and answering questions to those things that you really want to know. Without further ado, let's get on with the video.
Hi everyone, my name is Sundas. I am a registered midwife. I completed my studies at King's College London, and at the moment I'm working up north as a diabetic continuity midwife.
I am a registered nurse working in London. I studied at City University of London in BSc Adult Nursing, and currently I'm working as a junior clinical nurse specialist in acute pain services. Qualifications. So what qualifications do you need to become a midwife?
I'll talk about what I did first. I had my GCSEs, which you do need. Usually tends to be your English and maths, and then I went on to do A-levels. Each university will have different requirements for your A-levels, and I noticed that when I was applying to all the universities. But you can do access to midwifery courses, you can do BTECs, so there are a range of qualifications you can use to get into midwifery.
That's pretty much the same for nursing as well. So you need to have your GCSE qualifications, and then you can either do A-levels or you can do BTEC qualifications, typically in subjects such as health and social care. Another option that you can do is the Access to Nursing program, and this is essentially like an accelerated program aimed where you cover the topics that you will need to prepare you for your degree or for whatever pathway you're looking to pursue.
One of the main routes into midwifery is a 3-year undergraduate degree, which is what I did and the path that I took. But there are other routes available, one of which there are taught of this midwifery degree apprenticeship.
So the traditional way is the undergraduate degree or a postgraduate degree. We have the nursing associate program, and we also have nursing degree apprenticeship. What's also a really nice thing about nursing and midwifery is if you're sort of torn between the two, or you've got a passion for both, then you can also do dual degrees of becoming a nurse and also a midwife.
So this route is essentially a 3-year nursing program, which you do as your BSc, and then you do a top-up 18-month midwifery program, after which you are a registered midwife and nurse, so long as you keep up your registration with the NMC. So
definitely there's something out there if you really are torn between the two.
Zara, like if you obviously want to delve into midwifery, you know, it's open.
It's there. We'll think about it. So the entry examination,
from the get-go I was told midwifery is very, very competitive. It's going to be very hard to get in. I expect to have to do a few rounds of application. For my application, obviously initially you have to do your UCAS personal statement, and then after that, depending on your university that you applied for, it was an English and maths test and interviews. Where I trained at King's, I had multiple mini interviews, sort of like a speed dating interview thing. So you had 5 minutes in one with one interviewer, then a sort of like bell or something would ring, then you have 5 minutes with another, and you just cover something different in each section.
We also do a UCAS application, and that's the UK formal application to get into university. If you get accepted and the university likes what you've written in your personal statement, then that's when everything starts. That's when the hardcore the hardcore thing starts. You will be doing a numeracy and literacy test, just like midwives will do. So you need to pass them. If you don't pass them, then I don't even think you qualify onto the next interview. Into the interview, into the next part. So that is really important. We also had an aptitude test, and this is kind of like a personality test. Again, just essentially to see if nursing is the career for you. You can't revise for an aptitude test, you just have to be yourself. So course structure, nursing and midwifery is a vocational course. You are training specifically for a specific career, and at the end of it you will be a qualified registered midwife and a qualified registered nurse. Placements is a very big part of our degrees, and you usually find that there's like a 50-50 split. We also do written assignments, we do OSCEs, we have to do laboratory practical, the dissertation. The dissertation is a really big part of it as well. What a lot of people don't realise also is just how much there is incorporated into these degrees. What about for midwives?
Actually the same, obviously very heavy on placement and that hands-on experience. One thing there is, and you'll agree with me, being at university as a nursing or a midwifery student, it's not a university experience. It's not. You're on placement when your friends are out.
Yeah. There is definitely a balance though, I think. I think you can definitely have like a social balance and go to societies, interact with others outside of the art of your degree structure. But yeah, it is very intense. So you gotta really stay focused within that time period. So what are the different specialties in the midwifery field?
There's tons. So many things that you can do as a midwife. So you've got the hospital-based midwives, natal postnatal care, so that's more of an inpatient care. Your labour ward, birth suites. Outside of that, there are tons of specialties and routes that you can take once you're a midwife.
I think it's the same with nursing. You can go hospital-based, community, public health, you can go into research, you can go into education. There is an endless amount of opportunities, and I think depending on what kind of nurse you want to develop into, what kind of midwife, you will find that there is a specialty out there for you. We have a system in the UK called a banding system, and this is what both nurses and midwives follow. But when you become a newly qualified nurse, you start off at the band 5 and then it can go up to band 9. Depending on which banding you are, that will sort of determine how much you earn.
So as a midwife, you start off as band 5 and then you will complete a preceptorship programme, essentially consolidating your skills in each area. It's going to last 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, depending on where you're working, and then you progress to band 6. The difference is, as a midwife, you're expected to get your band 6, so that band 5 doesn't last for a long time. For example, you can be a band 5 nurse for a lot longer than you would be a band 5 midwife.
Yeah, we also do get offered a preceptorship program. I did a preceptorship program as well, but at the end of it, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you will become a band 6. You become a band 6 when the opportunity presents itself, and also if you fit the job description as well. What are some of the key challenges that you have faced as a midwife?
Learning to ask for help when you need it. Very, very, very important. You ever feel like, oh, I don't feel competent to do this, or I'm not in a good place, speak to somebody. You know, ask for help. I think we live in a world where we don't ask for help enough.
I guess a personal thing for me as a challenge, I guess finding the balance between working as a registered nurse and then trying to also be a normal sort of social life sort of thing, and I think working in these kind of fields, you have to be prepared to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to be prepared to prioritize a shift because it is understaffed and you need to go in and do your duty over, you know, some other commitments that you do have. That is the nature of working in this kind of field. There will be times where you do miss birthdays, where you do miss friends gatherings or socials and so on, because you're on shift or you've got a night shift that's coming up and you know you need to be well rested before then.
Best thing about being a midwife, for me, it's knowing, feeling like I can directly support somebody or make an impact. And it's not just on them, it's the generational impact. So it's that education, you know, like if I wasn't a midwife, I would have no clue about birth, about pregnancy. I wouldn't know anything. And I feel like, look, I've got this knowledge and I can share it. You know, I can support these families and empower them, you know, and advocate for them and let them know that, you know what, this is their experience. And it's just knowing that I can have a direct impact and I can hopefully improve health outcomes. Yeah, it's amazing.
I've always loved it when I have been part of someone's journey from when they come into hospital and you've been that nurse that's been with them from the start, supporting them perhaps in those tough times when they weren't doing so well, but you were there, and then they get discharged from hospital in a safe manner. Those are the moments that I'm just like, okay, I love it. And it makes those tough moments where you're like, oh gosh, everything is going wrong, or I'm so tired, but those are the key moments you're like, okay, this is what I do. What golden advice would you give to them?
Look after yourselves from the get-go. Like, you know, it's like you said, it's hardcore from the get-go, from the application process, and you need to take time out for yourself. You need to prioritize you. There will be times you'll need to prioritize your family. You'll need to prioritize the things that you enjoy outside of work.
I would say always remember your why. Always remember why you pursued this career. Always remember that in the moments where you are at your best, and definitely remember it in moments where you're not at your best. Perhaps when you're going through periods where you might be teetering on the edge of burnout. Your why is going to be individual and unique to you. No one can ever take that away from you. It's always our passion and our why that brings us back to why we do what we do. Thank you so much, Sundas, for coming onto the channel and sharing with us all your thoughts and your views and your advice as well. Guys, do check out Sundas' socials, her blog, her Instagram page. If you've got any further questions, do leave them in the comment section down below or reach out to either one of us on our socials. I will see you guys in my next video. Take care and stay safe.
I have like really long, like...
You do?
Yeah. Like really long.
Okay. Core structure. Stretch the back. Oh. Nice.
I have a doggy back. I'm a midwife.
Support the back. Using our transferable skills right now. My pillow flopping skills have come in handy. Well done, Sundas.
Oh, thank you.
I think you did so well. Well done.